So I guess we're not going to be memeing about INAROS anymore.
Warriors around, don't get caught in the mosh pit. Fuel to the fire, ain't nobody can stop it. Trouble in my city, but you know I'm across it. Got a 40 on my hip and I'm liable to spark it. Throw down these hits, my click is indivisible. I aim, you duck, I squeeze, now you invisible. I'm not afraid of getting physical. All these different chemicals are fogging up my visuals. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Yo, we notorious, we ain't no runners. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Yo, we some warriors, they ain't called gunners. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Put on my strap, put on the beat, put on the map, put on my team. Take out every motherfucker in between. Know what I mean? Better my stealth, better my aim, better my rap, better my name. Killing rappers on my hang, I'm by their chains for the fame. Never thought I would it, now I'm running this. You don't wanna follow me, now I'm in front of this. I ran in the trouble with the truth, trying to get it what it does. Battling and I ain't never lose, we some motherfucking warriors.
Hey everyone, it's me again. Today I got you INAROS Rework, and I must say, I'm impressed. Okay, I have a confession to make. I didn't expect it to be this good, but it could have been better, I'll be honest. But hey, it's really cool. So without further ado, let's see what we have right here. First, let's talk about his new passive, or technically his tweaked old passive. When INAROS bleeds out, he turns into a coffin and comes out of it as a sand wraith or sandstorm thingy, statue, whatever. All you need to do is hit enemies with your melee button. Just press E, 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 and you're back to being alive again. You still have your maneuvers. You can only attack with melee. You can't attack with any guns. Also, you have the swarm cavats. We'll talk about them in a bit. Keep them in mind. These swarm cavats will contribute in reviving you and filling this red meter in front of you. And he still heals from finisher kills. Moving on. His first ability, Desication, it's still the same as his former self. Yep, he throws sands and make enemies susceptible to finisher attacks. That's it, again. But here's where we get a bit interesting. This ability has a nice augment called Desiccation's Curse. This augment will allow the enemies who's affected by desiccation to summon a swarm cavat when you kill them with a finisher attack. Simply, the swarm cavat just like an extra CC layer that attacks enemies and apply corrosive and take the aggro away from you. Moving on. Second ability, Sandstorm. This ability got massively buffed, seriously. First of all, this ability is his former third ability. Now, this ability, it turns INAROS into a sandstorm or sand tornado that sucks enemies inside and heals INAROS and makes them immune to damage. Also, he gains a massive movement speed buffs that also scales with movement speed multipliers. The ability deals slash damage, just the damage, no status effect this time. But we can make it proc slash with its augment elemental Sandstorm that allows Sandstorm to inflict status effects based on the equipped elements on your melee weapon and the status weighting matter. We'll get to that in a bit. His third ability, Scrap Shell. This ability is simply he sucks his health to gain armor and status immunity, and it's really huge. Good job, D. No need for Negation Swarm again. But this ability has a nice augment called Negation Armor that allows INAROS to have a lifeline. Once INAROS takes a lethal hit, instead of going to his passive form, he just loses his Scrap Shell to gain a few seconds of invulnerability and healing a part of his health. But unfortunately, once the invulnerability state ends, he gets a deadly slash proc. For some reason, I don't know why, but it exists. Last but not least, his fourth ability, Scrap Swarm. This ability attacks enemies with sand waves that inflict corrosive damage and corrosive status effect, and the application is too low, so don't expect to armor strip with green shards. Enemies affected by this ability has a chance of spawning swarm cavats that again takes the enemy aggro away from you and deal a little bit of damage and can revive you if you somehow got knocked out. Now, since you have a decent understanding of INAROS' new abilities, let's see what we have today. Starting with the archon shards. First of all, you need to know that I have 5 Tau Forged blue shards, 3 of them for energy maximum. Each of them gives me 75 energy, and 2 each of them give me 225 health. You can add all health, all armor, all energy. It's up to you, but I wanted to have a little bit of balance. Plus, I didn't want to use prime flow in my builds. The first loadout is super simple tank INAROS. In terms of helmet, feel free to use whatever you want, but I'm using Breach Surge because didn't know what to pick honestly. So let's take a look at the build. In the aura, I got corrosive projection to decrease the enemy's armor. Honestly, you can use whatever aura you feel like using. If you want to use physique for extra health, I mean, go for it. In the Exilus, I have Power Drift to give me 15% ability strength, and this will be paired with Umbral Intensify and the Umbra set that increased Umbral Intensify up to 77 ability strength, and Blind Rage to give me a total of 291 ability strength. Vitality to give me a little bit of health, paired with Carnage Carapace to increase my health up to 8,000 and something. Arcane Reaper to give me healing per kill and extra 660 armor. Adaptation for damage reduction, and Umbral Fiber for extra 180 armor. This is buffed by the Umbra set. Arcane Strike for attack speed since I'm using a melee setup, and Hunter Adrenaline for energy sustainment since I'm going to be taking damage through my health. And yeah, it works. Even with Overguard, DE worked with it. My Kubazar will be just for Acolyte killing since my main weapon won't be good for killing the Acolyte. And this is the build. I have primary dexterity for combo duration to my melee and base damage to my primary since I'm going to be killing with my melee, and this Kubazar is a toxin progenitor. My secondary will be the Kuvanukor, again with a secondary dexterity, and the rest is as usual. And this Kuvanukor is magnetic progenitor. In terms of my melee, use whatever slash melee you got, but here I have the Gunsim Prime, a really nice war fan. Now let's make a little test. Do you know how to build your melee for slash? Let me know in the comments. Now let's take a look at the build. As you see, the typical slash melee build with Condition Overload, Blood Rush, Prime Reach, and crit damage with Organ Shatter and Gladiator Might, and the Smite mod, and Weeping Wounds for status chance, and Berserker Fury for extra attack speed. If you want to add an Exilus mod for Tenokai, it's up to you. My companion will be the Worm Prime, and this is the build. Guardian doesn't work, and don't mind it, just here for universal purposes. All you need here is negate, tenacious bond, calculated redirection, and reinforced bond, and vacuum. The rest is there to be there. And don't forget to have Volclock with point strikes to benefit from tenacious bond. My second loadout will use Roar as its helmet ability to give me faction damage multiplier and damage buff to my abilities. Yup, it's a DPS INAROS. Yeah, let's see what we have today. In the aura, I got Mecha Empowered for the Mecha set, and this would be paired with Mecha Pulse to complete the set on my Warframe. Again, with the Exilus being Power Drift, and I have Transient Fortitude with Umbra Intensify and the Umbra set with Vitality to give me 225% ability strength, and with Molt Augmented I have 285. And this is a 285 status chance on my second ability. Naira's Hatred for some duration, and this will be paired with Prime Continuity to sustain my abilities and the counteract Transient Fortitude. Adaptation for some survivability, and honestly you don't need it since you're going to be invulnerable all the time. So add Rolling Guard, add whatever you want. It's up to you. It's a flex slot. And the Augment Elemental Sandstorm is the one that's doing all the magic. Arcane Energize for energy replenishment. My primary and secondary doesn't matter. The magic will be on my melee. All you need here is just these 4 mods only. Just those. The rest is just for killing the Eximus units and the Acolyte whenever it spawns. And by the way, you can kill the Acolyte without even touching it with the Mecha set. And avoid using melee exposure because it will mess up with your slash weighting. I've tried it and it fucked me up. My companion for the Mecha set is Saadaya Sahsabonus, which is the Vizier Predicite. All you need here is just the 2 Mecha set mods, and the rest is there to be there to help my Predicite stay alive. And for universal purposes too, because I have Tenacious Bond that doesn't contribute to the build. all of these loadouts will work with the Mandalorian Focus School, utilizing the power transference node for casting speed and sling strength for 40% ability strength whenever I do consecutive void slings. That's it for me. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new. Please consider subscribing. It's free. You can always change your mind. Also, dropping a like is very appreciated. Stay tuned and see you all next time in the next video. Bye bye.